Hello guys, it's 1099 here and welcome to today's video, and today we are putting ourselves through what is essentially an annual humiliation ritual as we try to succeed in the world of NRL fantasy. It's not going to be a guide this year, however, it's just called An Idiot Does NRL Fantasy, as I try to understand this world and try to compete with hopefully weekly updates over shorts and other bits of social media and try to improve. Going into this year, I've just tried to see what kind of players are the right type to get in terms of strategy, but one thing that has hit a bit of a snag is the team name. Now, barring from last year where we basically just had an NRL fantasy team where it was just all Knights players, the club's name was Girth Gidley. Unfortunately, because of me using the Knights only team name of the Democratic People's Republic of Nova Castria, unfortunately someone has been able to nab Girth Gidley, and it has pissed me off to absolute no end. So now we currently have a working title, which is Studio Gidley, but there could be a possibility that we eventually end up doing a different name. But yeah, apart from that, I've already built my team, so I guess without further ado, let's get into it and let's get embarrassed. As you see at the top corner, our team value, we have spent pretty much nearly all of it of the 10 million. We've only got 2,000 remaining. Whether that's a smart strategy, we don't know, but it probably ends up won't be. So we're going to start straight off with our hooker, starting hooker. We have gone with Reed Marnie, obviously joining the Cowboys this year. I feel like he's going to be quite a bit of a workhorse, and, you know, because that's usually what hookers mostly do, and I feel like he's not that bad of a price. It must be because he has 30% ownership, so he could go quite well for the Cowboys, especially when but yeah, especially since Reece Robson leaving, I think he's going to be a major pull. Now we're going to go straight into our three mids. And this one is probably going to be one of the big ones. It's Payne Haas. I mean, what can you say? Absolute workhorse. He is arguably the best forward in the world. I'm actually dying on that hill. But yeah, it's like, I feel like it's like, you got to have like a couple of players that you start off with immediately. It's like, you know, like Cleary or whatever, but you got to have Payne Haas in here, because I feel like it is very much a necessity. And secondly, we are going to go with another player who has transferred clubs, Trey Mooney, who is now at the Newcastle Knights. I feel like he's going to be very important for the Knights this year on account of the fact that the Knights don't exactly have forward presence because a lot of people have had to leave. So I think he's just going to immediately start and immediately, hopefully, just do stuff. Hopefully. If not, then oh dear. And then finally, to round out the mids, we have got Hamish Stewart from St. George. So yeah, we're currently going to see, it's like, okay, we've got people who are like, okay, these players are somewhat owned, so it's like we're trying to get into like the average psyche. So we're basically being safe and being cowardice. But I think Hamish Stewart, he can rack those points up. It's going to be just interesting to see how the Dragons do go, but yeah, who knows? Now going into the edges, and we have got two absolute, oh boy, we got some absolute boys. We have first off got David Fafita. Seeing training footage of him at South Sydney, it looks scary. It looks like we could be seeing the return of, like, you know, consistent David Fafita. I feel like if the Rabbitohs are going to very much improve from last year, like a lot of people expect, this man is going to be the main forefront, and he's going to be just an absolute menace. It's actually going to be terrifying. And also in very similar pricing, and right next to him, we have gone with Leka Halasima, coming into now his second full season. Absolute breakout star last year. Was in the nominations for Rookie of the Year, but eventually went to, I'm actually blanking on who it actually went to. It was NRL Rookie of the Year 2025. Robert Toya. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I feel like Leka Halasima is going to be very important for the Warriors. I mean, he scores tries, but will it turn into points? I guess we don't know. Going into the halves, we've got two former teammates. We've got Mitchell Moses, who, I mean, with a lot of people seeing the Eels stonks going up, I think he's going to be very important at that, setting up a lot of it. And we're going with what would have been a former teammate, now on the biggest contract in NRL history. It is Dylan Brown at the Newcastle Knights. I've seen how he played at the Pacific Championships. Blood's flown so fast to there. We're back essentially, but yeah, it's very exciting to see how Dylan Brown will go with the Knights. There's I mean, he's got 10 years. Centers is a bit of an interesting one, but I've gone with, I think, an unsung hero a little bit, but a decent hand of the Penrith Panthers. We've got Casey McLean. You know, it's just, you know, you just head down, you just get stuff done. Just what I hope he's going to do for me. If not, you're under the breadline, mate. And we're also going with an absolute big gun. We have got Jacob Kiraz of the Bulldogs. Yeah, hopefully expecting a big year from him, possibly leading to the Blues again, possibly. We don't know, but yeah, Kiraz definitely one of the top dogs, and that's not meant to be a pun, but I just make it. Now we go into the wing fullbacks, and we've got 3 studs. We've got Reece Walsh, the Clive Churchill medalist from 2025 Grand Final. I mean, if this bloke's on, he's on. This bloke probably would be my ride or die for this season. He's just a gun. Player I'm expecting, however, to have a proper breakout year this year. Silver before I go. If he stays healthy, that's a big thing. He's going to absolutely just star at Melbourne. It's very exciting to see. It's like I've put all my chips on the Far Logo train. And finally, another player who has swapped clubs, but could be very interesting to see how he does go, is Selwyn Cobbo, who is now at the Dolphins. Yeah, I think this is going to be really interesting to see how the Dolphins do go in 2026. And I just think, yeah, if Selwyn just keeps on at it, could be interesting. And that because you got to think about that back line for the Dolphins is kind of mental. Now we go on to the interchange, and we're going to be starting off with Jai Gray, another South Sydney player, but I mean, the most ripped player in the NRL. It's actually scary. Like, I'm pretty certain if I just copped one bit of that shoulder to my jaw, I'd cease being. It's pretty mental. But yeah, I think possibly, hopefully, Latrell, if he does make that move to the centres, Jai Gray starts at fullback. Souths could be up. We don't know. Then we're going to go into a Bulldogs with Bailey Hayward, who is a hooker and mid. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool one to see probably working into the team, and could be a player whose stonks go up. We're talking stonks for NRL. But a lot of people back him because a quarter of all players currently own him, so there's a lot of incentive. Now we're going into the third player. We've got Mr. 8-Ball himself, Brandon Smith. Very exciting, low price, but I feel like could be possible decent points for South Sydney this year. I mean, it could be things that, hey, starts off pretty well, you sell, you bring profit. And finally, to ring out the interchange, we have Keanu Keeney from the Gold Coast Titans. I like this guy. It's really some of the young players. I'm a little concerned about how the Titans will go this year, but I feel like there's certain young crop of talent there at the Titans that could definitely help bolster the stocks of the club, and I feel like he is certainly one of them. And then we've got the final 4, our reserves or the emergency. And basically, these are where you put your players who are going to be, you know, essentially players you think of getting him at low, then trying to sell high, essentially. So I've just picked out a couple of players. We've got David Fowle from the St. George Illawarra Dragons. We've got a player who I believe has a lot of people considering him to be Rookie of the Year, is Hamasi Makasini. I mean, look at that ownership. Then you've got, of course, in the halves, Ethan Sanders, and to round it out, another Titans player in Josh Paxton. So, very interesting looking first team. I reckon there'll be a couple of changes following the preseason challenge to see what happens there before the actual season starts. So yeah, what should I do to this team? Also, if you want to join the fantasy, I should have put it somewhere in the beginning of the video, but yeah, here's the code. It's in the description, and it's also in the pinned comment in the comments below. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you out there, hopefully not sucking.